This is a video on Feature Man, the YouTuber who it recently came to light, though the information has been out there for decades, apparently, that Feature Man, in the 70s, he molested young boys, and these boys were not in good positions either. They were like orphan boys at the time, and he came in a position of power, or pretending to help out these boys, and sexually took advantage of them. And for those crimes, he was sentenced to 3 life imprisonment sentencings. He was sentenced 3 times, 3 counts to life sentence. And because this person knows people, because he had connections in Hollywood, but it's not just Hollywood. Obviously, it's very rampant in Hollywood, but this pedophile network is all positions of power. That's why you hear about pedophile teachers. That's why you hear about pedophile clergy. In any position of power, you're going to have snakes and wolves in sheep's clothing. And yeah, it's not that everybody, obviously, we need to use our discernment, and it is just really sad that this is the facts of this place. But evil is real. Satan is real. And waking up to Pizzagate actually brought me to Jesus Christ. Okay, so what I want to do in this video, because there's already videos out there that talk about this, that have exposed him, much bigger channels, I want to focus on just the details that are often missed, that link it to Pizzagate, and that just incriminate this person even more. I want to document this because I didn't see the other channels talk about it. And I also want to mention that YouTube totally has the power to take down these people's channels. And maybe this is a subject that I can talk more about, because there's other channels out there that exploit children, and even pedophile TikTok channels and pedophile YouTube channels out there. It's disgusting, and YouTube allows it. And YouTube definitely has the power to strike these channels down, because I've dealt with YouTube censorship before, and they're able to censor channels if they don't like the information or whatever's being presented on the channel. They absolutely can and do delete channels, and they choose to leave channels like this up. So I want to focus on just some details that are really disgusting. So cheese pizza is code for child pornography. This was exposed during Pizzagate. Pizzagate, it really woke up it was part of removing the scales from my eyes to see that these people really do communicate using signs and symbols. And pedophiles have been using different symbols and different code words to talk openly for who knows how long. And cheese pizza is a code word for child porn, or just letting people know. And he certainly goes out of his way to talk about how much he likes cheese pizza. And yes, there's going to be people out there that genuinely like cheese pizza. It's not like, there's a famous quote, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. But with everything else, this person is a convicted, multiple charges of molesting children, and has a YouTube channel, gets outed as a molester. They go start deleting all their channels, and the video that's left up after they've deleted most of their channels is a cheese pizza thing. That's not a coincidence anymore. That's not just somebody liking cheese pizza anymore. That is a pedo, an unapologetic pedo, leaving a sign. And these people are sick. It's probably for multiple reasons. I think a lot of times they do it as kind of like sticking their tongue out at people, like, the people who know, like, what are you going to do about it? Here, look, I can still put up a cheese pizza, and what's going to happen? It's like a smugness, because this creature, Feature Man, is absolutely unapologetic about what they did. And okay, so moving on. Just some other things that may disappear in the future that I'm just documenting in this video because I didn't see other people talking about it. Feature Man has playlists one of his playlists is talking about my top favorites, and multiple of these videos are involving young boys with disgusting comments. Talking about Golden Throat. I thought that this one was clearly targeting this individual because the Freddie Mercury and the Queen, he probably is targeting this boy because he assumes that he's gay and gonna groom him. This is not normal for old men to spend their time going to young boy YouTube to low view count. He was targeting specifically small YouTube channels, and this isn't like he was going to a channel that had tons of subs and this video has 1 million views and he's leaving a comment among thousands. He was seeking out these low view. This was like a school project video. This was a school project video, and he, I think, was like one of the only commenters, and his comment is disgusting. You can read it if you want to. I have proof too that is, I mean, even though it has the check mark verified, I made sure to get proof that this is that creep's YouTube channel. 422k subscribers. Disgusting pedophile. So some more things that I want to point out that I just didn't see people making a big deal of is that this guy did leave some signs around that things weren't all okay. One thing that I have read in the comments is that he would often say a lot of comments about kids, even though he lived alone. And that's kind of like a hindsight thing. Like, what's this old dude doing living by himself and never has visitors and doesn't have a family visiting it? Maybe everybody in this person's life knew what a sicko he was, and that's why they never were around. But anyways, one of the things is apparently this guy would say weird statements about kids. Stupid kids, don't let the stupid kids at a hot stove. And that certainly is a red flag if somebody is mentioning too much about kids, and like an old man like that who lives by himself. Like it's different if you're a grandpa and you have all your grandkids around all the time. This is some loner old man talking about kids all the time. Definitely a red flag. And this Chuck E. Cheese video, this old man also talked about Chuck E. Cheese and liking Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese is definitely a pedo zone. I just wouldn't take my children to Chuck E. Cheese these days just because it's too gross to know about the fact that something like Chuck E. Cheese, it really could be like founded by a pedo. And this earth is disgusting. These people are everywhere, these pedophiles, and they help each other out. This guy got out of 3 life sentences because he knew people because friends, powerful friends. Do you know any friends that could get you out of 3 life sentences? And how do these people bond? What was so amazing about this guy that he's going to get off on 3 life sentences for molesting children? It's because they're all in on it. There's pedo judges, there's the government full of pedophiles, and Pizzagate is real. This is more proof that Pizzagate is real. The fact that this guy gets outed and then deletes all his videos and has a video about cheese pizza, that's more evidence that has meaning to these people. The fact that this creep was interested in Chuck E. Cheese, it has meaning. Another creepy thing about this, where he apparently would be really creepy talking about special secret ingredients, making a big deal about secrets. The covering the mouth, the symbolism is really big with the Hollywood. People who are too weird about secrets. Oh, come over here, I'll tell you a little secret. To children, big red flags on secrets. Yeah, it just reminds me of how one of the biggest symbols for these people is doing the sh sign with their finger. It's raisins. Gross. He was gross. He made gross food. I get a kick when he says there will be a secret ingredient. Like, I wonder if it gives them a kick now if they know about what this person's secret was. Also eats everything with a spoon. A spoon can be a weird symbol. And, I mean, because babies eat with spoons. So spoon symbolism is a thing. That maybe in real life he eats normally and he just chose for his YouTube channel that he's going to only eat stuff with spoons. But spoon is a symbol. I'm not sure entirely if it's involved with pedophilia or not, but spoons as a symbol is definitely a thing. And so my guess is that it could just be related. Yeah, babies eat with a spoon, not a fork. But I'm not sure on that one entirely. So here's another red flag too. He would often incorporate dinosaurs, which is a children's toy. And so all of these things, they might just seem like no big deal. What's the big deal about an old man who likes dinosaurs, likes putting dinosaurs in his videos? And who knows? But there probably are some old men out there that do just like dinosaurs, and they are okay. They're not a horrible person, but really, you can't trust anybody out there. And to me, this just goes into, you shouldn't idolize anybody. Whenever something like this happens, to me, the most shocking thing is just how many people out there idolize other human beings. So maybe that's just the lesson in cases like this, where just because this guy reminds you of your grandpa doesn't mean you should idolize him. You don't know anything about somebody that you just see on a screen. And that is just something that I've always felt strongly about. I've never idolized celebrities because I've always just felt at the end of they're not special just because people know their name. So what I used to believe is that we're all the same. I used to think like that everybody's the same. And now I'm more of, some people are just straight up evil and not the same at all. There's just such evil in this world that I don't even know if I can say anymore that we're all the same. Some people just seem like the seed of Satan, and these unapologetic child molesters, certainly, if there's going to be something like irredeemable people who are just born evil, those would probably fit the bill. Anyways, so I'm going to read some scripture. Micah chapter 7, verse 5. Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide. Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that lieth in thy bosom. Some things in the Bible are hard to hear, and they almost don't seem right. But it's true. I mean, I feel like everybody keeps some things to themselves, even from their spouses. Maybe some people don't, and they're totally an open book, and that might be dangerous. But the part about this that I want is that you don't idolize anybody. Just because you like somebody's videos on YouTube, even, you shouldn't idolize that person. You shouldn't look up to that person, and you shouldn't put people on pedestals like that. And it is idolatry to put a poster of somebody on your wall and every day look at that poster and, oh man, I want to be like that person. That is a form of idolatry. And I mean, these days, I think a lot of people just liked this character as a friend, and I don't fault anyone for not knowing that they were a horrible person, but it is just another lesson of, you really can't trust anybody, and pedophiles are everywhere. Protect your children. Pizzagate is real. I'm just trying to list off things that I think are important from this. Samson and Delilah. Samson had supernatural strength, and he told his secret to a lover, and she took advantage of that. He lost his power. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Psalms chapter 118, verse 9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. One of those is that one's verse 8. Galatians chapter 6, verse 3 is really cool. I really like this verse. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. We should always humble ourselves. That's certainly something that you could have seen in this feature man. So I didn't watch their videos a lot, but I knew about them. But not a humble character at all. They really like to puff up themselves and make themselves they were very proud of of all of their Hollywood BS that really nobody should be impressed by. That's another thing too. Why are people still impressed by celebrities? Let this be a lesson. If you think a celebrity's cool, they're probably a pedo. And any celebrities that's not calling out the pedos is probably a pedo. So Pizzagate is real. This is something that brought me to Jesus. When I learned about Pizzagate and I saw that they spoke in signs and symbols and I saw that they were serious satanic individuals. Well, if there's these people out there that know Satan's real, then God is real. It doesn't make sense to worship Satan so seriously if Satan's not real. And no, I'm not saying that Feature Man is a Satanist. That's just stuff that I learned through Pizzagate. But Feature Man is certainly an example of there's pedophiles all over the place. They communicate in signs and symbols. And they have friends who have power on Earth. So that's it for this video. God bless everyone.